Bill Belichick parting ways with the New England Patriots after 24 seasons in New England. Here's an interesting tweet from Dan Graziano, who we just had on. Was it yesterday or the day before?
I think it was yesterday.
This week.
Yeah.
At Dan Graziano, ESPN. This is 19 minutes ago. Expect to hear the Falcons and Commanders discussed as most likely Belichick landing spots in the coming days.
Wow.
Expect to hear Gerard Mayo, Mike Vrabel, and Brian Flores as most likely Belichick successors in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just as a side note to that, Rossini says the Falcons want Belichick.
Right.
Mm-hmm. She tweeted that they've been thinking about him, and he's been high on their lists for a long time. So that makes sense to me. I'm going with Keim, though, and Keim insists because Florio had been pushing Belichick to the Commanders for a while now.
He's been on that for a long time now.
And a lot of people that cover this team say they don't think there's a chance.
Right.
So I'm going to say no, it's not a thing. It's just national perspective.
I mean,
but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either. But man, would that be just a huge, huge story? Belichick came here,
massive.
I don't think they would do that.
Find a bigger name.
Whoever they hire as this GM, if it's going to be Peters or any of these other guys,
right?
I think they go younger, and one of the hot coordinators. Now maybe they go the Dan Quinn route too, but I think Dan Quinn to Seattle makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that would just be a massive, massive story. But I could see. Well, look, I mean, if they did hire Belichick, would not have total control of personnel because they're going to hire a GM.
Right. That's the way it appears.
And if he's just going to be the X and O's guy,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's a horrible choice, but I know you don't want.
Maybe they've had back channel talks,
coach.
But I don't want him making decisions in personnel.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But maybe they've already had back channel discussions where they've approached Belichick and said, "Look, would you be willing to come here just as a coach, cede some of that power? Just put the coaching responsibilities on your plate.
Still not
let
interested.
the GM do it."
Still not interested.
I'm not the most interested, but it is intriguing. It's kind of intriguing to get Bill Belichick as your head coach, even at his advanced age of 72.
God, he's such a douche at the podium. Please don't give me 4 years of that. Please, God, I don't need 4 years of Belichick at the podium.
Right.
I can't. I
you
don't
can't handle it?
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, but was Ron? But I mean, at least what you're
Ron would at least put his foot in his mouth.
Ron was just a buffoon at the podium.
But he would put his foot in his mouth, and it would be kind of fun.
Belichick is just he's kind of playing a role. Like he's a grump, it's just his thing.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
I'd rather have a grump that kind of knows what he's doing instead of a buffoon like Ron just spouting off the mouth.
I'm not convinced that Bill particularly knows what he's doing when he doesn't have Tom Brady.
Okay. I mean, the record speaks to that.
I'm just going to die on that mountain.
Well, I mean,
turns out Tom Brady was the key ingredient.
Of course, but he and his staff developed Tom Brady. It's not like Tom Brady was a number one overall pick.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
right?
I guess they developed him. He came out and just played lights out when given the opportunity. You got to give
credit to a coaching staff that develops a 6th-round pick to winning.
I give him credit for drafting
7 Super Bowls.
I give him credit for drafting.
Some might argue they kind of luck-boxed into Tom Brady. There's no chance they knew when they were picking him, when they were picking that scrawny goofball with a bad haircut at the combine, that he would develop into what he did.
Slow.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They got lucky. Let's be honest, they got lucky.
Don't you have to give credit to a staff that helps develop? It's the word you just used.
Absolutely.
That player.
But let's be honest. They got kind of lucky.
He's just super driven.
Well, it never happens. 6th-round picks don't win.
I mean, it's just a miracle. It was a miracle.
Tom Brady. Did they win 7 or 8? 7?
Picking Tom Brady where they picked him is a miracle.
Yeah.
It's a miracle pick.
I disagree. I mean, Belichick is known as one of the greatest general managers in the history of the game. It's not just Tom Brady. I mean, he had undrafted.
His record without Brady is
I know.
atrocious.
I'm not saying you don't win a Super Bowl with one guy. Go look at the Super Bowl games. Brady was average in a lot of them.
They put together a great defense.
They had unbelievable defenses.
Defense was great.
Even guys like Wes Welker and Edelman, guys, Vince Wilfork,
and part
Richard
of
Seymour.
Belichick's signature was he wouldn't just give guys big fat deals for what they'd done in the past.
He'd get rid of them.
And he would get rid of them maybe a year early, to avoid them smashing into the wall under his watch.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like the tip of the spear when it came to, let's not give this guy a crazy deal because of what he did 5 years ago. He realized, what is this asset giving us now?
I don't want him.
He was ahead of the curve.
I know
with
you
that.
don't.
I don't want
all I'm
it.
saying is you've got to give him more credit for just Tom Brady, because the
Hard for
team.
me.
It was just it wasn't just Brady. The team was great for years, and like Drabby's saying, and I said this a few days ago or last week, he put together a great team. Now the last 3 years have sucked.
Right. They've been really
So,
bad.
really bad.
Does he get credit for Gronk?
Yes.
He wasn't
I
a
don't
top
know.
5 pick.
Maybe
second
Scott
What was
rounder.
he? What was he? A
gets credit
third
for
rounder,
Second or
fourth rounder?
second or third rounder. I'm pretty sure one of the greatest
How
tight
do
ends of all
I
time.
know that the guys that were behind him don't get the credit? The Piolis of the world.
Well, it was a great company.
He's the mastermind.
It was a
He's
great-
running it all.
It was a great company.
You're a Raiders guy. Have the Raiders. hire him.
I used to be a Raiders guy. I'm no
You have
longer a
your
Raiders
Niners.
guy.
No, I would agree with Keim too. I mean, Keim would know. I would think.
He's been told. I get the sense he's been told from people. within-
Graziano's pulling it from somewhere. He's just not pulling it out of thin air.
I know, but neither's Keim.
Yeah,
Keim
I agree.
doesn't.
I agree.
One thing I know about John, he doesn't go definitive with anything unless he's been told something.
Right.
You know what I mean? He does not. He's not interested in giving you his opinion.
I agree. No, I think he's got credible sources, no doubt.
But maybe, and I said this is Drab during the break, maybe deep down, maybe Harris loves Belichick. He just isn't telling anybody, just like he didn't tell anybody who's going to hire Bob Myers 15 minutes after he whacked Ron Rivera.
True.
So, I mean, that could be in play. It's just he's not leaking anything
All right,
about
I'm
his...
willing to wager.
I mean, I'm not willing to wager on it. I'm just saying it's a
Possible.
possibility
Certainly possible.
that Belichick could be in
All
play.
right, 800
I'll cry.
800-636-1066. I
we
promise
hire-
you won't
please
cry.
If we
cry.
hire
No,
the Super Bowl,
no,
that
you have
coach
to
has
cry.
6 Super Bowls.
If
you
Belichick's
won't.
hired, you need
I
to
don't want
cry
him.
on the air.
I don't want
I know you don't
him.
want him, but you won't cry.
I don't want his cutoff sweatshirts. I don't want his terrible press conferences.
Yeah.
I don't want his terrible team.
Well, Derek in Waldorf. Let's see if he wants Belichick.
I'm not interested. Pass.
Derek, do you want him?
What's going on, gentlemen? No, I don't, because we've been playing this defensive game for my entire life. I'm 30 years old.
Right.
I've only seen a good.
Give me some points.
I'm giving you some points. I've only seen
No, I
a
mean
good
offense.
offense.
He means the
with
team. He wants the
ED.
team to give you points.
Not
All right,
you.
go ahead.
So look, gentlemen. So look, these are some good offensive coordinators that's available, right? Clint Kubiak from the 49ers. Let's go for him. Let's go for Mike LaFleur from the Rams. Let's go for Zach Robinson from the Rams. Frank Smith from the Dolphins. Maybe even Cliff Kingsbury. Like, if we want to take Caleb, let's take the coach too. Why the heck are we going to be stuck on Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel?
We're not.
All these.
It's fake news.
What do you mean? Why not?
No, he said they're not.
I
He's-
said they're not.
He's not tracking with us. Thank you for the call.
thank
we
you, Derek.
appreciate it. Thank you for listening.
All right, Derek, thanks.
He just-
We're not
He
gonna
wasn't
hire
the same
Bill
way.
Also,
of
Lincoln
life.
Riley coached Caleb Williams. not
Yes.
Cliff Kingsbury.
It was Lincoln
Yeah.
Rest. Correct.
I don't want him, and I believe Keim. They're not interested. Maybe they'll pick his brain. Maybe they'll bring him in for an informational interview, pick his brain, and then kick him to the curb.
So you're under the impression that the only reason why Bill Belichick was successful is because of Tom Brady, and
They did some great things too.
and the game has passed him by.
No, I don't think the game's passing by, but I just don't want him.
And Valdez, he was bringing up Kingsbury because Kingsbury's on the staff. He's like quarterback coach.
I thought he was.
You
talking
don't want
about
him,
the
and
head
you will
coaches.
cry on command if he's hired.
I don't want the greatest coach in NFL history.
No, you don't.
I don't want him.